eager to tell us. I'm excited. I'm excited about the rook. My offensive game ball is going to be the rookie running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. The Detroit Lions finally had his moment in prime time, nonetheless, at home in those awesome alternate jerseys. Jahmyr Gibbs coming out party, 26 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Leaps into the stands doing his version of the Lambeau leap in Detroit. Gets swallowed in by the fans, comes out. That was fun to watch.
Yes.
Obviously rooting for the Lions on that game against the Raiders. And obviously ended up being the Raiders' downfall, as we kind of talked about earlier. But Jahmyr Gibbs, this is what we've been waiting for a long time. Just to see what they have, right? They spin that first-round pick on him, right? We know how good he was coming out of Alabama. We're waiting to see it materialize in the NFL. For whatever reason, they kept going with everybody else but Gibbs. David Montgomery, who was balling out, right? It's not like they were, he wasn't playing well. But obviously he gets hurt, so finally they have to step up. But it still took him a while. This is like his second game out, and so finally the second game, Jahmyr Gibbs kind of gets the touches. So hopefully it's the Jahmyr Gibbs shows moving forward as they kind of get their young guy in there and see what happens when David Montgomery comes back to see if those positions revert back or if Gibbs can kind of be the number one guy moving forward. But I was just excited to see the Rook finally get out to play and ball out in prime time in those sick jerseys against the Raiders. And so got to give my game ball to you, my friend.
Yeah, no, well deserved. That play that he ran through his touchdown play where he ran through that offensive line and he like snuck through a hole that was like 3 inches wide. I mean, like sidestep. That was one of the best running back plays this season. Like it was insane. You could see why he was the 12th overall pick, whether we agree or not, right? I mean, I think that's still, I don't know if there was much difference from what A-Chain was doing to what he was doing, and A-Chain was a 3rd overall pick, but still he, very, very, very strong game. I'm hoping that we get more touches from him going forward again. Like even you mentioned, Craig Reynolds still got touches in that game. Like, why is Craig Reynolds getting touches when you have Jahmyr Gibbs doing that? Just crazy what they can do.
Know.
Right. My offensive game ball, I'm staying with the rookie hype train, right? And I'm going with a guy who fell out of the first round. Both of us kind of said that he shouldn't have been a first rounder. And it's Will Levis, quarterback for the Titans. Making his season debut against the Falcons, who I'm still pretty high on in those Oiler jerseys that everyone think is slick, right? Went 19 for 26, 238, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Finally unlocked D-Hop for the first time in like 2 years, right? I mean, the guy balled out. I'm interested to see what he can do in the game that we'll preview soon, in the next week preview. But like this, maybe this, I don't see how Tannehill gets his job back if Will Levis is going to play like this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tannehill was going to get his. I mean, whether it was Malik Willis or Will Levis, I don't think Tannehill was ever going to get his job back because he wasn't able to do it. I mean, in the total game amount of games he's played, he's only put up 2 touchdowns. Will Levis was able to double that in one single game.
Yeah,
right. So I don't think he's ever going to get his job back. I mean, definitely well deserved. Will Levis definitely very deserved, right? Comes out as your rookie debut, also in those alternate throwback jerseys, right? Just something about those alternate or throwback jerseys. Yeah. You just show up and ball out. So definitely, I think he definitely deserves the game ball there for sure. But I'm not going to be on this Will Levis hype train. I'm sticking with what I am because listen, this is exactly what we expect from Will Levis. Maybe not the poise and things like that, but just launching the ball to a wide open receiver, 50 plus yards, right? A 47-yarder, a 33-yarder, and a 61-yarder. You know what I mean? It's like that's what we expect to see from his cannon arm is just to choke the ball down there to an open receiver and let them do the work, right? So don't want to take anything away from him because 4 touchdowns is incredible, but how you got those right doesn't excite me really, like because I know that's what you do. I just saw what you do. And so, like, I need, if I'm ever going to get on the Will Levis hype train where I think, okay, this is going to be really the guy, he's going to have to show me a lot more different things than what I just know what he can do, right? That's what you do. You chuck the ball down the field 100 yards. Like, that's what you do, right? So that's your thing. So congrats. You did it. You did it well, 4 touchdowns, but I'm not on the Will Levis hype train. I do think, though, I agree with you. I think, really, I mean, if you want to, I mean, it's either going to be him or Willis moving forward, right? So the Titans are going to have to figure that out. But obviously, you don't think Willis is the guy, or you want to draft Levis. So I would assume that Levis is going to be the guy until he just has his maybe a stretch of bad games, and they want to throw Willis back in. But I think that's a game ball well deserved.
Right.
So
Your defense.
my defensive game ball. Technically a defensive player, but I'm giving it to it because of what he did on the special teams. But I'm going to go with Justin Reed, safety out of Kansas City. Right, don't want to touch on it too much because you already talked about it in the best and worst. But he blocks that field goal, right? That would have put the Broncos up officially 2 scores, and to keep us in the game, we just couldn't do it. But he times that snap perfectly, blocks it there. And so I just want to give him praise because he's been playing really well all season long. The defense is playing great, keeping us in games. But that a play that should have galvanized and gave us all the momentum, but didn't, and that's not his fault. He did his part. And so I got to give him my game ball for doing the best that he could to help the team win.
Yeah, no, he played amazing. He's really starting to come alive these last couple games, right? He had that incredible interception 2 weeks ago against the Broncos still, so maybe he just plays the Broncos really well, right? But mine is going to a guy who tore his meniscus 13 weeks ago, returns to the field of play, and gets an interception. Mine is going to Jalen Ramsey, the Miami Dolphin, right? The world beater that we thought was going to come from LA Rams and turn around this defense that really, really needed it. We've seen against the Sunday night game against the Eagles. We've seen that he really, really needed this cornerback coming in and helping this team that just couldn't stop Jalen Hurts and Antonio Brown. So now we have Jalen Ramsey. Hopefully Xavier Howard get right. That would be a dynamic duo between the two of them. Right, Jalen Ramsey came in. He didn't do a lot. He just had that interception. I think he had one other tackle, but he did what he needed to do from 13 weeks off of football, coming back from meniscus tear super fast, right? Puts it up to really good game. I just, I can't believe how well this is. I was surprised. We talked about it last week. We both didn't expect him to play very well. And of course, here he is making the most of his game. Let me see his official stats were Jalen Ramsey had 1 tackle and the interception that went 49 yards, right? Mike McDaniel said it himself. He should have pick sixed it, not pick field goaled it, but it's a win. Jalen Ramsey walks away with the victory. So it's crazy to me that he can come back 13 weeks. We both said that he shouldn't have been back, right? We didn't think it was possible that he was going to play again until maybe that. We didn't even think it was possible the Chiefs game. Here he is playing here, gives the defense a boost that they desperately need.
Yeah, no, I mean absolutely. I didn't expect to see that from him coming back. I thought he might be kind of a little bit off of his game, a little bit groggy, a little bit, but he just kind of picked up right where right
Yeah.
where he left off and just started balling there. So perfect time for him to come back. Right, the defense needs to get better for the Dolphins, and so a tough ask coming back there. I think they planned this right. It's better to come back against a team like the Patriots than come back against a team like the Chiefs.
Yes.
Right. So I wouldn't have been surprised if they waited, right? Because they had the bye week after the Germany game. So give him a little bit extra time before coming back. But I think he felt good to where he was at, that they wanted to get him ready for the Chiefs game. And so this was kind of his practice game, if you will, right? Against a Patriots team that obviously they should beat. And so they're able to kind of get up there and kind of get his feet wet, if you will. And he looks, I couldn't tell he's been out all season.
No. Yeah. So you get the game ball for coming back from injury. Hear that, Rodgers? Come back, get a game ball.